Hello everyone and welcome to Project Aging on Wheels.
At Project Aging, we hope to raise awareness on the legal issues surrounding aging, as well as inform you on the different legal instruments that you can apply for in response to these issues.
Today, let us find out more about a legal instrument called the Lasting Power of Attorney, or LPA in short. But before we begin, let us first see what some of us think an LPA is. Let's go, Sonia!
Hello, do you know what an LPA is?
What do you mean?
没有
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
I don't know what is it all about.
Don't know.
Oh, no idea. What is that?
Maybe you can explain. Yeah.
So an LPA is called a lasting power of attorney. So this is like a legal document that allows people who are over 21 years old to appoint someone that they trust to make decisions for them in the future if they lose mental capacity. So knowing all this, how likely are you to apply for an LPA now?
I'll go home and research more, but I think I will.
Don't need lah. Later I apply, then I touch wood, later I gonna bang my car or something. I don't want.
这个要牵涉到，比如说他的经济状况，如果你收的费用太高的话，他就会考虑说不要做这个决定。
你有选择了之后哈，你就不用去担心他们孩子为了这个问题而纷争哦。 为了钱财而吵架。
No, let's say I have two relatives. I get them to be my what the yeah. So would that be a conflict? Like how to deal with that? Actually, at this point in time, I think I'm not too sure because I think people only apply when it's necessary. When they don't have any like family members to take care of them. So. Unless it's necessary.
It seems like some of us have some misconceptions about the LPA which are preventing us from getting an LPA early.
The first misconception is that getting an LPA will sabo you or increase the likelihood of you losing mental capacity one day. But this is not true. Getting an LPA will not increase the likelihood of you losing your mental capacity.
The second misconception that we have heard some of us say is that getting an LPA is very expensive. Well, actually getting an LPA can be very affordable. More details on the LPA application process and fees will be shared towards the end of the video, so do stay tuned for that.
So the third misconception is that getting an LPA might cause conflict between your family members. But actually, not applying for an LPA might cause even more conflict than that, because in the event that you lose mental capacity in the future and you don't have an LPA, then your family members will have to apply to the court for something called a deputyship order. If other family members object to the deputyship order, then they would all have to fight it out in court, which might in turn cause more conflict. So getting an LPA would result in less conflict within your family.
The fourth misconception that we have heard is that the LPA is only for old people or elderly people. Well, that is not true. An LPA is actually an important legal instrument for all of us who are above 21 years old. This is because we can only apply for an LPA while we still have mental capacity. So you see, we buy insurance early, right, to protect ourselves from unforeseen future circumstances. So similarly, we should apply for an LPA early.
Now that we have addressed some of the misconceptions regarding the LPA, let's find out what would encourage everyone to start applying for it early. So what do you think the government can do to encourage people to start applying for it early?
Maybe promote it more. Yeah, maybe reach out to the younger audiences also.
We old people, when you talk about online, we are very scared because we just don't know what is happening.
I think should have more mainstream coverage so that at least people older than me, they know lah. Because this kind of thing, I think I learned it because of school. But the older people who don't go to school, they may not know about this new scheme that's coming up.
Well, assigning you and randomly picked up people on the street and let us be aware. That's a good one.
Wow, these are all really interesting ideas. Maybe they'll be adopted in the future.
Indeed, we are already starting to see some changes being made to the LPA application process to streamline it. For one, there is now a website of the Office of the Public Guardian which you can go to make an LPA application, all in just 3 simple steps.
First, you have to input your personal details and then choose your donees and what powers to grant them.
Second, your donees need to accept their appointments.
Finally, you have to get your LPA certified. You can do this by going to a practicing lawyer, a psychiatrist, or an accredited medical professional.
As for costs, there are generally two costs associated with making an LPA application. First, the application cost, and second, the cost of certifying your LPA. These tables summarize roughly how much each of these would cost.
As you can see, getting an LPA is relatively affordable. For Singapore citizens, it can cost as little as less than $50 to apply for, and for permanent residents, less than $150.
For more details, you can also visit the website of the Office of the Public Guardian, or if you have further enquiries, you can also contact them through their hotline or via email.
Alright, that's all we have for today. Bye!